So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. On the jet sweep, here comes Jefferson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Cousins gives way to Cook. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And 4 at the Bears' 12-yard line.
On 2nd down and 4, Cousins. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. The credit that sack to Robert Quinn.
Well, no takes to start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Play action now. Cousins. Looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 15. And a great return as he takes us up just shy of the 45. No doubt a very disappointing end to what was a pretty strong opening drive.
They had 3 points in their back pocket. It was there for them. If you don't like what you see, just throw it away. Make sure you get those points on the board. Don't get too greedy. He forced it there. You saw the end result.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free. Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
The threat of a 2nd straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Trubisky. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked by Jeff Gladney. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line.
They'll take over first.
And this might not be the last interception we see, Brandon. Both of these teams like to throw the football, but here in this snow, ball's not going to always go where you want it to. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
First down, here's the run with Cook. A solid run on 1st down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. 36 yards on the play. 1st and goal from just inside the 5. They'll run with Cook. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets them back now for 2nd down. It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. They try again with Cook. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3.
Brought down by...
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line. Because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want...
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings have taken a first quarter lead.
For the point after.
Able to punch it in on third down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a fourth down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating, will we have to make the call? They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. On 2nd and 9, Trubisky. And the hook up here to Allen Robinson.
Trubisky's
only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
For the Bears.
O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away. Abdullah to return. A good return there, 17 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
At their own 31-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Cousins now. Looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Danny Trevathan. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Trubisky sliding out of the pocket. And now he's going to use the ball comes out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down. You can almost see inside his face mask there the look of relief. He coughed it up, but it goes out of bounds. They keep it.
Someone carrying around the lucky horseshoe, aren't they? If I were him, I'd go out and play the lottery after that one. A very fortunate man.
And they're operating in plus territory here. They're thinking points. Definitely don't want to lose the football at this juncture. That one good for a 1st down pickup of 18 yards. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Check 26, check 26. Slam, slam, slam.
Back to the ground, this time Montgomery. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
Number 32.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, are usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
On third down, Trubisky. Flush to his right. And he's got his man. That's Robinson. Touchdown, Bears. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Bears are an extra point away from tying the football game. So he scrambled right, but was able to look back toward the middle of the end zone to find the target.
As you know, in this game, sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules, because we all know most guys throwing the football are taught never throw back into the middle of the field on a scramble. He did it and got away with it for a touchdown.
Instinct sometimes, right? They just take over.
Instinct and vision. Sometimes you just see people who are open, you're able to get it to them.
5-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They had the interception last drive, led to the tying touchdown, so 7-7 the score as they begin 1st and 10. They start the drive with Cook. Oh, he's got some breathing room. Accelerating, and off he goes. 20.
This is my
Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Vikings have taken the lead. And we didn't even get a chance to settle in for that drive. A quick strike of 75 yards, and they find the end zone.
Don't you get the sense that film study was behind this one, that they saw something that they thought they could take advantage of? The key is calling it in the right situation, knowing when it exists to go to it. They did exactly that. They've got to feel really good about what they did in advance of this game.
Just looking down at the sideline now, their defense is like, man, can you have strung that out just a few plays? Give us a break. Back out there.
Hey, man, give that water break and get on out there and play.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They trail a one-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up 1st and 10. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line.
Well, so much of playing quarterback in the snow comes down to trying not to do too much. You've got to just keep telling yourself, throws downfield we've run every day in practice all year. But guess what? They suddenly become more difficult. And this one gets away from him and winds up an interception.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10 at the 49-yard line.
A reminder, coming up at halftime, while the two of us head for warmer areas of the press box, we'll be sending you to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first. And the 3rd interception thrown by Cousins. Picked off by Tashawn Gibson. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line.
Cousins pass.
That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
How about a guy proving his worth in different ways? Had the big play in the run game to play before. This time, they go right back to him in the passing game, and he comes through with yet another big play. That's why you work out so hard in the offseason, so you can stay on the field and accumulate big plays.
Well, CD, taking a step back, we're 2 weeks into the season, and you already kind of get the sense that teams are beginning to separate themselves. If you look at the 2-0 teams, and remember, 62% of 2-0 teams ultimately make the playoffs. But Baltimore, Kansas City, Green Bay, Seattle, just to name a few, they look really good.
They certainly do, and in a lot of ways, those are the teams that we expected to be 2-0 at this part of the season. I mean, it's no major surprise. But how about Arizona being 2-0 as well? People talked about them getting better in the offseason. I don't know how many of us thought they'd beat San Francisco in the opener. They did. Then they jumped on Washington this week, and they are 2-0 as well.
Now, on the other side of the spectrum, we know the not good news about teams that start 0-2. The Giants and the Jets both there, Detroit, Cincinnati. So, again, maybe some more predictable names.
Certainly, they are predictable. Again, not a surprise for most of them, although many thought Detroit would be improved at this point. But how about a team that's 0-2 that went through a little bit of a difficult...
And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Anthony Harris. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half. And you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest. We're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here. But he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Eddie Jackson picks it. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line.
So first thing crossed my mind is why didn't they just sit on the lead and take it to the locker room? They're in good shape.
Absolutely. And from this spot on the field, now you've given the other side a chance for points here going into intermission.
Yeah, you changed the momentum of the game, and it's something you did not need to do.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Now Trubisky lost the football, but the Bears look to get this one back, and indeed they did. So they'll keep possession. Second time in this game, Charles, the ball has squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for a situation.
It's caught at the 10. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. And the timeout comes in with 2 seconds remaining. So they can trot out the field goal unit for the try before we hit the lockers. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gautin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The lake effect snow set to continue for the second half of action as we are back underway. On the return, here comes Amir Abdullah. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
The tackle.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
Cousins from the gun on third. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Danny Trevathan. And they will score a pick-6 for a Bears touchdown.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
Extra point through the snowflakes, up and good. And it's now 17-14. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. Now Abdullah will return. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
1st down, Vikings.
They go play action. Cousins. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph. But it's going to be 2nd down.
Well, let's go back to the start of the season talk, Charles. We talked about some 2-0 and 0-2 teams. You mentioned Arizona, maybe a good surprise. Houston, a bad surprise. Any other teams a surprise at this point to you?
Well, I think that I would look at the Los Angeles Rams right out of the gate. At home against Dallas, opening their new stadium. Many thought Dallas would go out west and beat them. That didn't happen. Then how about the Rams going on the road this week and beating Philadelphia, and decisively? This looks like a Rams team that finished 9-7 last year. It has designs on challenging for the division title. And one other team I would throw in there is a little bit of a surprise. Just by how it's gone down, how about Atlanta? I know it's tough against Seattle, tough against Dallas. Seattle was at home, but they got jumped on by Seattle. And in the Dallas game, they just gave away. That's a team that should be at worst 1-1 right now. Now looking at 0-2 and have a lot of questions.
3rd down.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first.
2
yards and able to get the 1st down in the process.
1st down, Minnesota.
Man, I just love being in this stadium. So much history, tradition, so many great teams and games, and we're seeing a pretty good one right now. Hotly contested in the 3rd quarter.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit. Even for those big tight ends, who you would think could absorb that contact.
He's got a 1st down and much more inside the 20. And finally taken down at the 15. 16 yards, a 1st down.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
Now Cook. And he stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
The ball carrier. Roquan Smith in on the tackle. A gain of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 14-yard line.
On 2nd down, Cook. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone.
The ball carrier brought down at the 2-yard line. 1st and goal.
They'll run for it with Cook. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
Short of the goal line.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up in. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Punching it in from a yard away. And the Vikings are going to retake the lead.
For the point after.
He's got the hat trick now of rushing touchdowns. Also has his team the advantage.
And I'm looking at it 2 ways here. If I'm on defense, I don't care what they do now. I commit as many people as it takes to slowing him down running the football. Even if they want to hit me over the top on play action, I just don't let him beat me that way anymore. And if I'm him, I'm in the huddle calling the plays myself. I don't care what play call comes in. I tell my quarterback, guess what? You're handing it to me again.
And if I'm the quarterback, I'm saying, okay, that sounds good, right?
Smart quarterback.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Following the interception, Cousins. This is caught, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Adam Thielen, 31 yards. And the interception by the Vikings D leads to a touchdown. Bailey now for the extra point. And that one pushes the lead up to 11.
Makes the score Vikings 28, Bears 17.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. On the return, here's the dangerous Cordero Patterson. The lane opens here. He's past the 30.
On the return, the Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 33-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still is not really... The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Shamar Stephen busting through to get him for a loss of 6. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Out of the gun, Trubisky. Now Trubisky lost the football, and the Vikings pick up the football. And they're going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return, a scoop and score for the Vikings. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that. And that's what they've done all game long.
Extra point up and good by Bailey. And the lead is up to 18 now. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Yard line.
It's for the taking. No hesitation. Don't try my patience. I'm a boy. 146, boy.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them. The coaches from all the way up here, they were adamant. You've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked by Jeff Gladney. And it's a big turnover there on the final play of the quarter. Back now at Soldier Field. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4. 1st and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. Give. This is Cook. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there. And I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory. And as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't, because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put it back on and mash.
And now here is another interception. Picked up by Jalen Johnson. And the return just out across the 15 to the 16-yard line. Well, to be frank, CD, this is getting tough to watch. I mean, you feel for him, but 6 interceptions, that's at a whole new level. It's not a good level.
It makes it tougher and tougher to come up with ways to try and support him. But you have to as a team, because you can't just throw your quarterback aside. You're going to need him later on. But it reminds me of a time that a former defense coordinator of mine told me he was in a game where his quarterback threw 7 interceptions. So after the 6-1, one of the defensive players went to the quarterback and said, here's what you do. Throw the ball to the other team, and let's see if our receivers can pick it off and turn it into a completion.
That's just mean. I don't know that I'd go down there and say that to him right now. Probably pretty fragile. Looking to throw. Trubisky on first down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
For Jimmy Graham.
Ball on the 30 as they come up second and 10.
Second and 10 at the 30-yard line.
Now Trubisky to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And my goodness, another interception. Picked by Jeff Gladney. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. I think it's safe to say this is a game he's not going to forget anytime soon, Charles. 3 interceptions.
It's rare that we see 3 interceptions by one team, let alone by an individual. And I think that after the second one, he's probably telling his teammates, any ball that's in the air, it's going to be mine. And that turned out to be true.
That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
And now here is another interception. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. The number 7 usually lucky here. Not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he had won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer, the last to do it in 2001, to throw 7 picks. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play, second and 3. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's a first down on a gain of 10. A play fake to Montgomery. Now Trubisky. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
After the incomplete pass, here now is second and 10. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it. The former Pro Bowl linebacker Anthony Barr there to jar it free.
Down and 10.
The Bears on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10. Again, it's Trubisky. And that will be incomplete. Another pass attempt, another incompletion, and they're just a little over 100 yards passing here in this game, so defensively, pretty good job.
Definitely, because they were never really able to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers. So a lot of credit to the defensive game plan, and especially the execution.
They're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They'll try and throw for it with Trubisky. And this is going to be incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. An opportunity for them to salt this game away after that 4th down stop we just witnessed as they hold a commanding. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. That sack by Khalil Mack. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. They'll try and wind down some clock with Cook. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. Well, that gets back some of what they needed, but they're still stuck here with a 3rd and 13. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. A crazy sequence here. A huge gain that time, but it still leaves him well short for fourth down. They'll throw on first down with Trubisky. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. Ted Ginn, 29 yards. And the Bears use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Oh, it's a fake. They'll try and throw for it. This is caught.
Okay, they went for the fake off of the extra point attempt. It's a long way to go, and they didn't get there. Didn't get it completed successfully. Did someone dare them to do that? Did someone double dog dare them to do that?
Maybe they saw something on film, but do you see something on film with those to try something from the 15 on a PAT? I don't know.
The only thing they needed to see on film there was a snap, a hold, and someone kicking the ball through the post.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down.
Coverage on the play.
He'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Cook on the toss left. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. On first down, Trubisky. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. And he finds his tight end, Graham. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. He completes this into the hands of Miller. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 13-yard line. 23 yards the pickup there. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact. But in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well. Incomplete.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Intended for Jimmy Graham. Incomplete.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. And it's caught. He's got it for a late touchdown. They're probably a little too late. It would take a miracle of epic proportions if they're going to pull this one off. Coming from where they were, they knew this was going to be tough, but they got the touchdown. Now they need the miracle, the onside kick and a little extra.
Yeah, and you have to get the onside kick and not have the ball bounce around a lot and eat up time. You want to be...
Oh, and it's a fake. They'll try and throw for him. He gets it complete to Harris.
Let me go ahead and show my age a little bit. I liked it when they would fake it from the 3-yard line, right? When they'd line up, go ahead and, oh, there's a fake, and now he's going to get 2. That's great. But from the 15, the risk-reward is just not there.
So risky to get 15 yards on a fake. Oh, you see the result right there.
Yeah, I know these young whippersnappers are trying to do different things in this game, but let's go back to old reliable. Kick the ball through the post.
Get off my lawn.
That's darn right.
I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10.
And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. And they will take a knee here. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit...